Alright, welcome everyone. I haven't streamed in. Welcome everyone. I haven't. Oops, sorry, I apologize for the echo. Uh, but this is my first stream with Modern Horizons 3 cards. And I'm quite excited for the list that I have been working on the last roughly 24 hours. That essentially had a epiphany at how to build a deck correctly. Um, the big addition, I guess there's two. Really, there's three additions. Let's start with, in my opinion, the card that was obvious to me. That was going to be added to the deck, and that's crazy. That sounds the Talon Gates of Madara. To me, this is going to be a slam dunk. I had no questions. My certainty level I mentioned on my Discord was that of like the Atraxa spoiling, or like the Gaia's Blessing tech for the Painter matchup. Pretty much guaranteed. Like I knew it was going to work. The one that I was less sure about, and actually I was not as high on, and I was wrong in hindsight because I didn't realize how broken Vigilance is on, especially with Exalted, is the Right of the Reliquary. I only tried it my first league as a one-off just to see, right? I kept pretty modest expectations, and the first two matchups, I posted this on Twitter. I faced two combo decks and died turn two both games, or all four games, and I was just like, oh, this card's not that great. But granted, that was the result of the matchups too. And then I played against an Eldrazi deck. Granted, that's not the best indicator of legacy. And this card in the first game just took over the game by itself. So good that on Theorycraft, game two, turn two Green Sun for it. And keep in mind, this was my first iteration. This is day one on Tuesday. Only one of it in the deck, and it literally soloed another game. I'm like, oh, pretty interesting. This card does really well in combat. And today's Thursday, and yesterday morning, I only played one, like I said, Tuesday night. Yesterday morning, I had the realization, I think this card is better than Fiend Artisan. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? This Fiend Artisan was like the signature card of this deck. And I just think that Fiend Artisan now is just extra copies of Reliquary because Fiend Artisan doesn't cheat on mana. That's the other thing. Ryle of the Reliquary does. Like, it finds Gaia's Cradle if you don't have it, and if you do have it, you get a Lair of the Hydra, or maybe there's a better payoff. I think Lair is the best one because it's green, or produces green mana, and you just like clock them for a bunch of damage. The closing speed is fantastic. The first question I know I'm gonna get is like, why not just play 4 Fiend Artisans? The question is then, what do we cut? Now, I thought about moving 2 Endurances to the sideboard, but one of the big benefits of this deck is you get to play 4 Endurance main, and that's your pretty much green Force of Will, right? Like, obviously not as flexible, but in some matchups even better than Force of Will. Like against Tempo decks, just an obscene card. And I think I've always said I felt good about our fair matchups, enough so that I'm just willing to play less Artisan. Again, that's gonna. As of 2 days ago, that would have sounded blasphemous. I'm just gonna play 2 Artisan because I don't have room, and I want my green Force of Will main. And the good thing is the third addition to this deck from Modern. We got 3 additions, just a ridiculous. Uh, just an embarrassment of riches, right? Like, the third edition is this Vexing Bauble that is essentially your colorless Allosaurus Shepherd or colorless Silence, depending on how you want to look at it. And this card is good against these blue decks. And it's also combo hate. So instead of playing the full 4 Artisan, I just play 2. If you need extra help against fair decks, you can play the 4, but like I think I just want to hate out combo, especially since at the beginning of this metagame, there's a lot of like Necro decks, a lot of these like Oopsaw spells decks that notably was the deck that killed me on turn 2, with protection in my first match with Modern Horizons with the one of Reliquary, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. The other thing is like my number one priority with this kind of list is to be combo. Like I don't hide behind that. I make it known. Like I'm gonna try to beat my combo opponents because I think I'm not losing any fair matchup, especially with the addition of Reliquary now. And Fiend Artisan, the other thing about that is it's actually very weak in the Ancient Tomb matchups because it's so slow. Reliquary has extra power and toughness, and the vigilance again huge because, and pun not intended, because you can attack and play defense at the same time. Shout out to Mats Ole for Mats Ellington for pointing that out to me even pre-release. The sideboard, just one of these bunch of haymakers that I'm playing one of. So if you try to Google my list, good luck. Trying to play around these cards because they're all one ofs. Like I don't think you're gonna be successful in trying to Google my list if that's what you're doing, right? Not to mention I change it from time to time just to protect myself and my Patreon subscribers. All right, so 3 additions. I don't think any other deck can boast that many additions, but I could be wrong. I haven't really looked at the metagame yet. We'll see how that goes. I know D-Sit, David Sittinger, has already 3-0'd his LGS events tonight with essentially 74 out of 75. He posted on Discord. All right, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's just jump in. Yeah, I think I subscribe to the belief that I want to be able to have some game, potentially Epic Storm. I want to have some game against Combo Game 1 because I just think the fair matches are so favored that I'm willing to, maybe draw a suboptimal card Game 1 that notably has 6 sacrifice outlets now, so instead of the 4, right? You have and I just want to be able to make the game 1 percentage at least respectable. I mean, if I can get 30% of this against these kind of all index, I'll take it. 4C got 4 new cards. That's pretty impressive. Although I don't, to be fair, Lomer boy, the last time I saw your list, you're playing a lot of one ofs. So like, how many, I guess, slots, if that makes sense? I'm curious. What are the 4 one ofs? I'm gonna pretend like I didn't know what my opponent's on. I thought they might be on Epic Storm based on the MTG bot, but for learning purposes, uh, just gonna keep a generically good hand, right? The old good luck, have fun, kill you turn 1, right? It's a tried and true classic. Yeah, I think we spoke on that last time. I've forgotten whose stream. Um, Maybe it was like Straz Daddies or something. Shout out to Mark Strasman, by the way, for his recent streams with the new cards. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's not my thing personally. I'm actually the opposite of that. I like 4 ofs, but that's neither here nor there, right? It's quite the opposite. 6 being the big one. I mean, that makes sense in a loam deck. So, for what is it? For what's that? For what stats worth? For what it's worth. Are we dead here? Potentially. Well, I guess the LED, like, they can crack for Besiege and then maybe, like, kill us with Song Creation. Shifting Woodland was a card that I think was exciting when I saw it. The problem is, like, I didn't even bother trying it because I suspect the Delirium is too difficult. I've like somewhat have been tracking it, and I just think it's too hard. I think Talon is just absurd in any kind of like land searching deck. So like, I was already high on that even before the Rite of the Reliquary edition. Like, I just wanted it for Reclaimer, and now is with between it and Knight, it's just or Wight, it's just been absurd for me at least. Okay, I think I'm gonna get songed here. Are they really gonna like walk into endurance? Jeez. I guess they walk into endurance. Very strange. I don't know the contents of your list, lower boy, but if you have fewer creatures, I don't know how many creatures. Like, then I think it makes like less sense. I don't know how many like search effects you're playing either. Like especially if you have a bunch of one ofs, then maybe not. But like I have like eight tutor targets. I mean 8 tutors for it, so I think it make. I even wanted it already with just reclaimer, but um, I think with 8, I think it's just too good. But then again, like it probably does. I think Cradle's probably the best Talon deck because it has the most hate bearers it actually cares about. So like Thrall, Containment Priest, you name it, right? Okay, we're dead. That's okay. All right. Like I said, I'm not gonna like mold to endurance or whatever, but I think for our purposes, this is like a learning stream. All right, let's pull up the old sideboard map that I just updated today. I think some of them are obvious. Oops. Some of them less so. So I guess the funny thing I do is like, it's weird because our opponent like walked into endurance. I actually tried to board out endurance because I assume they're gonna play around it anyways. But this opponent here has like walked into it game one, so maybe we're supposed to keep it. Regardless, let's just assume our opponent, is gonna play how we think they're gonna play. So there's nothing to flash here. TES also is pretty much all in, so there's no need to surveil. Okay, I guess the lair is not gonna come in. We are like a million sideboard hate, so we better win these sideboard games. Like I said, the priority is to shore up the combo matchups. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be successful doing it, but that's the goal. What am I missing here? Why am I at 61? The dreaded number. Something is not quite right. Oh, I see. Wait, no? Oh, I didn't have the Leyline, the Void. Previously. I think we could just go down to 1 white. This is not really the matchup for it. Kudo, yeah, the problem with that is just like, if they remove it, then it's just like, you accomplish nothing, right? So, I think in this matchup, we'd rather have Artisan than White because Collector Oof is a relevant card. Yeah, I just think in this deck, if you can turn it on, I think Woodland would be potentially better than Lair, but I think you're gonna in most cases we're gonna have trouble turning it on. This is a slam dunk keep. No, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Also, thank you for tuning in tonight, everyone. The other thing I wanted to remind people actually is um, I mentioned in my tweet that if you catch a misplay before I do, ugh, okay, we don't get to seize them, but Do I want a Hierarch here or a Reclaimer? Probably just the Hierarch. I don't think they're gonna go to the yard. There's no way, right? They're gonna do it twice in a row. Unfortunately, we missed though on the Once Upon a Time for the Black Source, which is a little bit more prone to happening now because I had to eat a slot for Talon and I had to eat a slot for Lair, so like we're down kind of like 2 Black Sources, right? I think the way it works with Planeswalkers is it dies to state-based effects, right? No loyalties. I think you're thinking of Lazatev Corey that plays through that. Okay. Let's take a look-sees. Burning Wish, Burning Wish. What are we doing here? So the thing is countered. Do I just want to take a Wish or a Beseech? Well, there's no point in taking 2 Wishes, right? Like, let's just take a Beseech. Well, nothing we can do there. The alternative is taking the LED. Maybe that was the correct play. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have done that. Yeah, so that misplay on my behalf. If I thought it through, like, it seemed like because they kept on top, so it seemed like they had the answer. I guess I was maybe concerned about Beseech finding an answer, so maybe there's that. But then again, they could find an answer with Wish anyway, so maybe LEDs to take there. We can at least bluff right now for Mind Break Trap. Hey, Dukes. Thank you. I appreciate you asking. Yeah, I think it's been very good in my limited testing. It attacks very well, unlike Artisan, which you can't do both things, right? It's crazy. As my good friend Jonathan Zhang would say, Fiend Artisan has been invalidated now. It might have just cost me this game by not what is it called? It might have cost me myself this game by not ooh, they're passing the turn by not taking the LED. But we shall see. I think we just dismiss this now. We. All right. I think the line here is. I want to be able to do both. So we're gonna like shut off their color mana, and we're gonna like collect with them right now. Interesting. Okay. TES playing Force of Will. Very interesting. Well, they still have to fight it through this collector, so we'll see. Thank you, Dukes. I appreciate the kind words. Dukes is always the man of the people, right? Like, I don't think I've ever had a bad encounter with Dukes. And in fact, I'll go as far as say my day usually gets better after interacting with Dukes. So, very always happy to see him. Not only on my Twitch chat, but just interacting with him in general, whether that be DM or replying to somebody's what is it called, a tweet. I guess it's called X now, right? Like, yeah, Dukes is the OG, right? I think I liked his tweet about two Maverick players in the finals of the most recent challenge. I know, a little bit of an asterisk, like if you a little bit of asterisk, you're being fair, right? Because it's right before Modern Horizons 3 cards came out, but still counts. All right, what are we doing here? Oh, I mean, this is easy mode, right? Okay, interesting. What are we doing here? Do I just like flood the board here? Probably. Do I have another hate bear? I guess I don't. Probably they get a surveil land right now, if I were to guess. We threw here, but luckily, hopefully not punished. Like again, you catch a mistake before I call it out. I will be giving out, MTGO codes for 120 play points, and they are not limited to one per person. You can catch multiple. So are they dead here? So either I'm dead here or they're dead here. It's one or the other, right? Okay. What are they getting? My first mistake is only playing one blue spell. Did think about playing a second Mind Break Trap for whatever that's worth. Okay, they interesting. They sense that they're about to be dead. So I mean, it's probably what, like 50 cents or whatever it is. The 2-drop Marauder or Edict. I mean, it's probably cheap. I would pick it up like in case something weird happens, but like I don't foresee myself playing anytime soon. If that answers your question. All right, what are we doing here? I guess yeah, Traxxas exists. What are we doing here? It's 4. We're still short. I'm gonna bash for 4 here. Take them to 5. I'm trying to think, how do we lose this game? We don't have a second Hay Bear. That is like one hole that is in the deck. I don't know if that's something we're supposed to care about though. Like, is that just... Here, we're gonna stop echo lines just in case and pass. Thank you for the sub, D-Sit. Congrats on the 3-0 tonight, by the way. Yeah, I think so too. Like, obviously, like I said, the one that probably is most innocuous to people is the Talon Gates, and I think that card just I knew that card was gonna be an ace. The Reliquary just like far exceeded my expectations, and then I think Bauble is just like a nice role player. This should be lethal now. Did I keep in the hoof? I don't even remember. I did. Okay. All right. We made one misplay. Luckily, didn't cost us. Our opponent whiffed on the echo. Do we want to change anything based on what we saw? Mana was pretty constrained. I don't think this is like a lair match, especially since we're just like if we had to rely on the Reliquary, probably lost. We're not really playing around endurance because we expect our opponent to play around it anyways. Now, if they know that maybe like it's a game of chicken, right? Are they gonna go for it? Are they not? Like, maybe you keep it two just for the threat of it. Like, maybe it's actually probably better than the right. So, also this is the other reason why I don't want to play it, right? Like, if you open with this, then you just don't need it at all. Do you think if they see Leyline, they think any less of endurance? I don't know. You have to get into their minds. I think this is a keep. I would think, yeah, maybe they don't think we have it. But then I love one of in these haymaker slots because they're almost impossible for our opponent to play around. Like, are they really gonna play around like a one of Mind Break Trap, a one of Leyline of the Void, like a one of Chalice of the Void? They can, but it's like not maybe the best strategy. Sure. Shout out to Jonathan Zhang. He's the one that introduced me to this idea of like sideboarding, and I think it's correct. Now, it doesn't apply when you have sideboard cards of different value. So, for instance, I'm still playing Four Thoughtseize, Four Snuff because I think they're significantly better than the alternatives. But when they're about the same, then I think that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna fetch to thin first, and then once whiffed. Okay. I'm gonna lead with this and pass the turn. We're gonna save the second hierarch for the Force of Vigor pitch, and then hope to just oof our opponent out of the game. Sure. What could they possibly have here? We could kill their LED here. They have Burning Wish. That's like kind of bad for us. I think maybe Teague. I think we better do it. Like, it seems. I don't want them to have like a million mana. They can like Burning Wish for what is it called? Relay, but I don't want them to like do something bigger, like Pier or something. Our opponent just put exclamation mark @ hashtag star, and they board out their relay. I mean, if they relayed here, we could be in trouble, but like, I think they probably boarded it in. Okay, never mind. They relayed. Uh, oh, they screwed up because they didn't hold priority. That's what it was. Okay, cool. I think we just go for the lock here, right? They misclicked. Give him the chair. I mean, if we win this game, it's gonna be an asterisk. I'll be honest. I mean, I wanna be fair, right? Like, so it's obvious that they want to go for relay there. They didn't hold priority for the pitch their LED, right? They would have reloaded their hand. Now, there's no guarantee they would be a collective, but like, obviously they would be in better situation. Maybe we're supposed to keep one of those silver lands, but I already feel a little uneasy boarding out all the lands I did. I kept Bog just because you can reclaim her for it, or like, but it's probably not the best. Maybe a mortuary is better. Our opponent conceded. Asterisk on this game though. All right, I gotta use a restroom real quick. I'll bring up the deck list. Also, shout out to Dukes. I'm using his advice that he said about clicking the replay recording on OBS. All right, I'm back. Let's start. Okay, on the topic of the second hate bear, the thing is, like, I just feel like we need to get past turn one. Is my bigger issue, and the other thing is like, even though we don't have a great like second hate bear right now, the closing speed of Rider Reliquary is actually for the non-collective matchups is actually extremely fast. So maybe that's like okay, right? Spiral Prince. I feel like I played this person a while back. Okay, this is a mulligan. I don't remember what they're on though. I feel like they're on some kind of artifact deck, but I don't know for sure. feels like it's like an 8 cast player or something. I hope I don't end up regretting putting this endurance away. Alright, thanks, dude. Appreciate you dropping by. I hope I do not regret putting that endurance away. And I do. Okay. Jesus. I think they're a Chancellor deck. They're probably playing the Echo, not the Echo, the Necro deck from Tony. I'm just gonna like run this in. We might be dead here. Alright, there it is. There it is. My impression of this deck is it's like another Oops All Spells that's not like as vulnerable to the graveyard. Maybe I'm underestimating the card. Wow, I cannot believe that they went to 1. Like, what if I just play a Bowmasters? Oh, I guess they're gonna kill me this turn. Never mind. Hey Mike, how's it going? Yeah, that's fair. I haven't. This is literally my first time playing against Necro. This is literally my first time playing against Necro, so I like forgot that they're gonna try to do everything the same turn. I didn't watch, but like a very strong source of mine believes this deck is like not too different from Oops that avoids the graveyard for whatever that's worth. And if they want, I can reveal who that is, but I don't want to air them out. They don't want to be aired out too. This is funny. They whiff. I think we're dead now. I'm glad I added like way more anti-storm cards to this sideboard. I'm just gonna like my method is just like if you really want to beat a matchup, you play so much density of cards that they don't want to play against you anymore. Like that's the amount that's needed to beat the deck if you want to beat a deck. You have to play enough where they actively do not want to play against you. Alright, we're dead. So I don't know if they were at that threshold or not, but like, and I hate losing the. Oops, did we just? Did we lose everyone? Is the stream back? Testing. It says I'm live, but then it's frozen. Stop. Are we back? All right, I think we are. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Okay. How am I supposed to board against this deck? Better hurry before I. Mm, and right, I don't think actually does anything against them. No bog. I don't think this is a layer matchup. Again, I don't think this is a Talons matchup. I don't think this is a Mortuary matchup. I don't think we're gonna have time. Ley line, probably not. We board out all our utility lands. Just go, pedal to the metal, I guess. I think the weirdest part for this deck is if it ends up being like Oops Spell, it's just another thorn in my side of the kind of deck. Um, is this what I want to see? Like, what is better than like a Force of Vigor? Not. Keep. There's an answer for the Necro. Top deck's well too. Hi Mitchell. Good games yesterday. Okay. At least these games are fast. The thing is, like, they're probably just gonna try to kill us turn one, like protected. What are we gonna do here? I don't think endurance, just like mess with their Cabal Ritual threshold is like worth it. I think we might just have to like mold to like Mindbreak Travel Force. I think the metagame is probably way too fast. People are like, trying their new toys and trying to oops people essentially. I think on the draw is probably not good enough. They're moving aggressively. I'm trying to think what that means. Are we just moving to Force and Mindbreak Trap here? I feel like the answer is yes. Okay, there's Force. And Chalice. Force into Chalice, right? I hate these kind of matchups. Like, just mulligan fest. Sure. Gotta bluff the Mindbreak Trap, obviously. They have it, they have it. Okay. What are we gonna do, like... I'm just curious, Lomer boy. How did it end up going for you? I imagine that for the decks that you like to play, matchups is very difficult. I would have to imagine. Yeah, boring and difficult. Like either it's like a mulligan fest, right? Like either they have or they don't. I mean, shout out to Tony though. Like obviously the deck's very fast and strong, but like the gameplay I don't particularly enjoy. It feels like you're flipping coins, right? Obviously, it's a coin flip that's weighted in their favor given our choice of deck, but all right, they whiffed and conceded. Interesting. That was fun. All right, let's move on. I guess. At least the games are quick. They they mentioned in the chat they had a 50-50 and chose wrong. I mean, that's what this kind of deck does, right? So now that I've played it one time, I'm inclined to believe my source. And granted, like I don't feel favored against this matchup, but like even we, stole game three on the draw here, right? So I'm not sure it's the type of deck I would take to a big event. Like I think over the course of a longer event, the inconsistencies will start to loom. Now, granted, we're not playing like a Tony caliber player, but Mulligan. Keep. We don't know what our opponent is on, but given that we mold, I think we just put the oof away. Done. We can always just like green sun for it too. I mean, for what it's worth, Tony got 5-0'd with it, but like, I think over a larger sample size, it feels like you're gonna hit some rough patches, and the deck, I don't. It's just like you're gonna move it aggressively every game. I'm assuming based on what I saw there. Like, I don't know. It just feels like it's gonna lose to itself. Mm, I mean, we don't. It's not oops all cradles for no reason. Actually, maybe the line there would. Well, I was like, maybe we should have led with the. I mean, not so far. We're 2-0, but like very skewed matchup so far. What is going on? Wasteland, nothing. Did they force this? I'm playing around days here. I'm gonna run this into days and see if they like hardcast it. I don't want them to waste. I want to get full mana off the cradle first before they waste. And then if they want to daze this, that's fine with me. Like I check for days with the hierarch. I feel like if they have it, they should probably daze the hierarch. But I don't know for sure. What the hell's going on? Don't tell me this main deck priest. Sure, I guess. Alright, so they held the days. Which is fine, I think, by us. The alternative there was to not run it up, but like I think I like running it out there. We could have held it, but like Oof, oh my god. Well, to be fair, also, um, we could have waited. We could have waited a turn, play the land, and then grist the following turn. I think things might have like played out very differently though. I even checked for days, but like they, I guess maybe that's not threatening enough for them. So feels like they have force potentially up to the way that they're playing. Like they're pausing on every thing that we're doing. I think I wonder why. So, did they get any additions? I mean, the land maybe, but like, oh sure, yeah, yeah. I think that card is good. Graveyard. Maybe we're just dead. Uh, Second guessing like running into days there, but I'm not even sure most lists, like all lists have days. I feel like it's correct, but who the hell knows? I guess Wasteland being represented is reason to hold back there. So, so misplay on my behalf. I think. I think the Wasteland is a tell that they have something, and I think given that we want to, save our Cradle. Granted, we have the Reclaimer anyways. Hey, Warmock, how's it going? Yeah, I think. I hope they stifle this, but we'll see. We can buy ourselves one turn with the Talon Gates. Looks like they're gonna stifle it. Again, if you catch a mistake before I do, 120 play points. I think I want to main phase this. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have allowed them to attack with a throw. That was okay. That was a mistake. And hopefully snatch their throw. They'll draw a force too. So a little bit sloppy by me. They're gonna attack? What's going on here? Dress down. Interesting. We did not block. I think we have to do it now. We kill the thrall. That like opens up maybe some lines. Natural order is a kill now, but it feels like they have force. All right, we have one draw step. It kind of feels like they have force though. Now we're dead. I think. The full information. We have to block now with the Reclaimer and the Endurance. But like I said, I would have felt better. I would feel better if I drew the thing and they have force, right? Like, if I know they have force, then I wouldn't feel as bad about this game. We're gonna have to soak a bunch of damage. We soak 4 here. We're still dead. So we attack with both. We're not dead yet, but we probably are. I asked them if they have force. They said not yet. Yeah, I think the Wasteland was probably the tell. I thought about it. The problem is like I don't really want to draw Vesuva. Like it's almost always gonna be horrible. It crossed my mind, but I just think I just want to play all good cards, right? Natural order? No, we're dead. All right. All right. The good thing is like we have a lot of cards for this matchup. The forces are good. The snuff outs are good. Endurance has no text in this matchup. Well, I guess I can block a thrall. I guess there's that, right? They're playing white, so I probably have to keep Hoof in. I think we want like, do we want? I think we don't want Bog. I'm not gonna play around their. I'm not gonna try to play around their. What's it called? Their Murktide region. If they get a Murktide, they get a Murktide. Like I'm just gonna live with it. Do we want the Vexing Bauble? We have Force, and that's about and Days, I guess. They're like a Force Days deck. Like maybe, I guess. Maybe it's maybe we want four. It's very good. It is maybe not in this league so far, but like in general, it's really good. The Force of Vigor is a 2 for 1. We want that or the Bauble. The Bauble is just a shut off their counter spells. It's not even worth it. Like, do we even care? Yeah, I guess we don't want a 2 for 1 ourselves. Let's try this. We still have 4 Snuff Out. I mean, we still have the Snuff Out. Can't ask for more than that. A second land would have been nice instead of the Grist, but I think we take it. Good practice, though, nonetheless. Still looking for somebody to, call out my misplay before me. I guess I've been fairly on top of that tonight. I think one of the biggest, I think one of the biggest skill sets to have is being able to recognize your own misplays like almost immediately. I think that's one of the ways I improved. I was a significantly worse player many years ago, and I think each year I think I've improved as a result of just like watching my replays and whatnot. Like for instance, I only started playing MTGO like 2019ish, and like I said, I obviously my big event that was in 2020 that I won the showcase qualifier for the mocks, and in 2021 obviously Eternal Weekend. But I think I'm significantly better player now, especially deck building wise, than I was then. It's just like sometimes you're just lucky at the right time, right? And I think for me at least, it's helped me a lot. So that's yeah. I think it's just like why do I have to draw this right now? Mm, I think for the sake of mana efficiency, I'm just gonna like run today's here because I can't double spell. Like this deck is all about maximizing mana, and I don't want to like Reclaimer to waste some mana. If they want to daze it, they can daze it, especially since we're on the play. That's actually why I play so many hierarchs, by the way, in this list. You cannot afford to like waste mana, and ideally I would have had another 1 drop to go Reclaimer to 1 drop into land. It's awkward because I drew the Arbor, right? And I didn't. I missed my first land. Ooh, interesting. They had days they probably would have done it unless they're going for the kill. They probably swords too. That's another option. Interesting. Yeah, I think being able to recognize your misplays too. It's not only do you get better, it's just like sometimes if you don't recognize it, you'll never catch what you're doing wrong. Which is like I know it sounds obvious, but like you keep repeating the same mistakes, and I think that's what is. I think that's what holds people back, right? Like they make the same mistakes. I think if you can limit your mistakes, then I think that's like good. I think obviously you have the experience, Lumber Boy, but I wouldn't recommend. Interesting. It's not gonna kill ball. I think they made a mistake. They think that it's gonna kill Arbor. Yikes. I feel bad for my opponent. They just didn't realize that EE says non-land. I'm telling them right now. All right. Now, let's see. I can go Gris in today's here, like, or did we go Reclaimer into? It kind of feels like I don't want to lose the Gris today's because then Snuff Out can get checked by Let's do this. Then Snuff Out can get checked by a force or something, right? They wanted to waste this. They could. I think we're gonna force out the wasteland on the Cradle. I guess not. I'm now confused. Maybe force check pretty soon. I think they have the flyer. That's the only thing that wouldn't make sense, right? So we maybe through game one, they for sure get through game two. Okay, no flyer. Do you not recruit before damage here? I don't think so. I guess I could. I don't think it matters, right? Like I'm gonna sec the insect token. Unless you're asking for something else. B1 Bauer. Mm, no, I don't think so. I want to at least leave one Wight of the Reliquary up for Talon Gates. Like it's like this is a mom in disguise. In disguise too, right? Because of Talon Gates. Because if they target it, we can protect. That's why I don't really. At most, I would do maybe one before damage, but I'm second this token regardless. But good question though. It's completely broken this deck. Like it's the I think this is the best Talon Gates deck because we have 8 shooters and because we care about the hate bears the most. So we can flicker out their thrall and like attracts of them, for instance. I think every reclaimer deck needs to be playing the card, and I don't say that lightly. Mm, no removal, but otherwise okay hand, sure. Just realized if somebody turn one baubles us, it turns off our ones, but not really. I guess we can do it in response. Looks like a stifle ready to happen. They want to daze. I think they're welcome to. I don't want to get my land stifled here. That's probably game losing. I think we take the artisan in this case. Don't want to get stifled. When we're on a draw, like I think on the play, Actually, on the play, we're not gonna get stifled anyways. But I think later in the game is probably fine. On the draw, it's just turn one is just too much. Okay, so they're gonna do that. That's fine. That is annoying. That's for sure. We're gonna play our Allosaurus Shepherd here. This is a must force, right? Like, unless they have an answer for it randomly. Yep. I think we're gonna play through days here. Harbinger is like pretty neat tech against us. I'm just hoping they just tap out. That's good. Sure. Well, that's kind of bad for us now. Interesting. The question is, are we playing around force here, or are we playing around... Are we playing around force, or are we playing around Talon? I think regardless, we're doing that. Actually, no. I think we're playing around... We're not playing around force. I think we get the Atraxa. Snuffout's really good. Green Sun. Land. Wight? Is that the what we're getting? Or do we get the Arbor here? Actually, I think we get the basic. That's fine. Probably just attack. If they have an answer for a try, we're dead anyways. I think we pass. And just do it on their upkeep. Okay, I think we're in the clear. I think we are in the clear now. The reason why I did it on upkeep is because they have that slip out card. So if they fizzle our removal spell, they can't attack us. That is a lot. If they swords on Atraxa, I don't think it's the end of the world. That's actually a really good sign because they can't combo again this turn. All right, we pulled it out. Asterisk on the second game though, so for that's like Two of our three wins of Asterisk now. Not great, but we're playing three combo decks, so you gotta get a little lucky to win all three, right? Let me go ahead and use the restroom real quick. All right, three down, two to go. I'm gonna queue this up and get some water. Yeah, I think Sneak and Show like preys on a lot of these green decks. Ironically, because green decks typically have access to Caracas, but it just doesn't really work out that way when they have like Atraxa or Gristlebrand. Um, Something I want to point out is I think for us we got three additions, total of I guess 7 cards. Granted, this is like really more than just one edition because we have like a million tutors for it, right? But let's just call it what it is. 7 cards. I think the biggest addition I thought was gonna be the Talon Gates of Madara. It ended up being the right, just because of how fast the clock is and just like how efficient it is on mana compared to Fiend Artisan. Like I said, told me 2 days ago I'm cutting Fiend Artisan or trimming it at least. I would have just like, what are you talking about? And now it's just like afterthought, right? I was like debating even playing any copies, but I think it's nice to round out the deck with like 2 artisan. It does. There's some matchups where it's like better than right, like the collective matchups specifically, but yeah, I would say the order is probably Wight. They're all pretty powerful because obviously this is just for power level. This is just like answers whatever we need to answer. And then the Bauble is good for mapping purposes. Is anti-combo plus you can board it in for your blue matchups. Sure. This is a matchup where I kind of wish I had the 4 artisan, but we'll see. I forgot how I mapped. I mapped this earlier. I saw they were like short on cards against DNT. We have to bring in like Thoughtseize in this matchup, which I don't really want to do. Sure, I guess. I'm leading with the Bayou because in case like the every fetch is representing the what's it called? The Surveil land now, so I have to be like patient with the fetch lands. Prismatic Vista. Alright, so I think they're still splashing black. Yoshiwada is probably gonna be out for vengeance against us because we beat them last time on stream. Actually, ironically, without Talon gates, we just like had to dig deep for the what is it called? We have to dig deep for the natural cradle. Um, so the question here is like, do we oof them and then play that? I feel like that walks into removal. Let's do this. There's an argument to be made for Mortuary there too. Bowmaster probably. Okay, they took our Green Sun. That's unfortunate. Well, at least they have a Vial. Like, I thought about getting a creature. The problem is they have like a million like removal spells. Like, I don't like this is not the DNT Cradle matchup of yore, right? Like, I don't really want to. They just have like so many removal spells. Like, you just have to win with natural order a lot of times. You don't expect anything to really live. Granted, we have like more threats now, but still, they're 2-2. That's unfortunate. So there's like probably no way this artisan lives, in my opinion. Actually, the sad part is it's a 2-2, so it just dies to Bowmasters. They have it too. Maybe we get lucky and flip a creature. That's also another big upgrade with. Okay, there you go. Counter spell activated. Now they have the swords, right? Like. Oh, they don't have it. Alright. We're gonna go to town now. Let's get the basic. So, argument to be made, like, we can either get a Wight here to, like, unlock our land, but, like, we're not assuming the thing dies. We could get another artisan, just, like, be immune to removal. Now, if they had the removal, they would have killed it. I think we just, like, start the value engine and just hope they don't top deck removal. There's an argument there, like, I think there's two options, right? You either clone the artisan or you get the grist and just, like, not play around removal. Ugh. Now I kind of regret not cloning the thing. Yeah, I think in hindsight, maybe just cloning the artisan safe. Right, like it just beats 2 removal spells. Although to be fair, actually to be fair, if we did get another artisan and they kill it, we don't have the two tokens there. And I think we mill cards that we don't really want to see. Presumably we have another artisan, and then but that one probably just gets the white at that point, right? And then we don't really just have much left. Or actually, the second artisan maybe gets the grist, and then you hope to run away with that. But then we have no mana, right? You would have the collector oof and one insect token trying to protect the grist, and that's not gonna be great. I think with the active mom on the other side. So I guess that would be one issue. Yeah, I think that would be one issue with getting the grist because then you're cut off on. You're gonna be cut off on mana. I guess if we get the Wight or the Reliquary instead, they probably kill the Wight. Oh, actually, that's hard to say, right? Like the artisan could just like keep getting more. I'm not sure which one they kill. They probably kill the Wight. I think they have to, right? Because it protects the others. Then the artisan gets what at that point? They gets the grist in the same situation, right? It's hard to protect the grist now. Or I can get another run and just try to unlock the mana, but then like you don't have the two tokens. So what are you sacking at this point? I think we misplayed, but probably not as bad as I originally thought. I think we would have been like tied on mana anyways. I think this is a good learning experience now, right? It changes the lines of like what are we artisaning for. Um, Before I would have said like you artisan for another artisan, but I think now maybe like Wight is just like better because we can just like keep our mana untapped. And like I said, Yoshiwada's probably out for vengeance because we beat them on stream last time. Each creature that we don't want that grist mills is almost like a +1 card, right? It's pretty neat. No blocks. It's not worth it. I think they're trying to debate whether to play around endurance. I think that's the logic. Also, the reason why to get a Wight is our mana's tied up right now. So I think the new sequencing now is like with an active reclaimer. I mean artisan. You're instead of getting the grist, you get the Wight if we're tied up. So here I think they're gonna kill the grist now. I think they wanted us to block so that we lose a creature. They get the grist. The good thing is like natural is just actually I was gonna say natural is lethal, but it's not. Cradle is though. Not Cradle. There's no attacks here. Time to deck thin. Just top deck Cradle wins the game here. We just got it. We have 41 cards left in the deck, so roughly 10% chance. And then Once Upon a Time is a rebuy. What is going on? This is a good learning experience. I think this match here I probably learned the most, or the thing that's gonna be most relevant going forward, which is like now how do we sequence the Phenars and priority targets? And like I said, unless we are comfortably ahead, like against like a control deck or something, I think I'm supposed to get a wire to the Reliquary there. So good learning experience. Question here is like, fetching it changed the clock slightly, but I think we still do because they have moms out, right? Like they can like force creatures through. I'm trying to deck thin here. That's a very good card. I'm not sure we have enough time though. We're on a 1 turn clock, I think. Actually, maybe 2. Nothing we can do about that. And we have to fade Wasteland. The easy mode here is just like draw Cradle. And Solitude, maybe Reclaimer? No. That's very good. We have 5 looks for it. There it is. All right. That's game. Yeah. All right. That was too close to call, but we got it. Misplayed, but didn't get punished, so we learned from that. That's good. All right. This matchup we don't have like any cards for because we've slanted our sideboard to beat combo. And fortunately, nothing is good against them here, right? Like snuff out, no targets. Not to mention I want to blank their moms anyways. That sounded wrong. Baubles, probably not. Like, what are we trying to do here? Just like cycling. I think the best thing is actually Just like thought seizing them and taking the Yorion or whatever they tutor for. I guess is like the logic behind that. I don't love Bog, but like I said, I don't really have anything in this matchup for this for them. Uh, yeah, I just keep it as another land. Don't think there's anything else that's like relevant. Maybe the first force, but like again, they just, no targets. Hmm. I think we keep. We're missing. Well, we'll see. I don't want to run out. Thoughtseize maybe? No. Oh, I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that. We have to fetch basic here because they have a vial. Um, the question here is like, which door do we run out? I think this one. I think they're unlikely to bowmasters because I see a lot of these bowmasters play. They try to get me by leaving the dorks and just getting the artisan, and most of them just pay the price later on because I have like endurance in hand or something. Interesting. All right, so do we seize here? I feel like because we're tied up on mana. I don't want to like seize here with them double vial, right? Like, what are we scared of on? What are we scared of on two? I don't know about much, right? Let's do this. That's probably gonna bait out removal. I'm like holding off on the C's because I'm a little bit tied up on mana. Alright, they probably have Bowmasters by a Hierarch or something. Hit the Reclaimer yet. Land is good here. I think we go for the KO here. We'll shut their vial off. This could be a KO, depending on their hand. This could be a KO if they. What are they pausing on? Maybe whether activate or not? Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to like cut their lands. I feel like if they had swords, they would have used it, right? Like they pitched something to the Solitude. The Stoneforge, sure. Like, if this Collector Oof lives, it's like cutting them off 5 mana. Okay, they're forced to do that, I guess. What are they getting? Recruiter, okay. Oh, they just want to value. Okay, they're probably just gonna hit the Hierarch now. Ugh, that's annoying. The black card's just rotting in our hand right now. Sure. If they have a recruiter, I'm gonna be sad. Guess I gotta lead it with it first. Okay. When it attacks, interesting. Once Wight, Gris, and probably land? So they're gonna hit the reclaimer. I mean recruiter. They're hellbent right now. You can kill the dumb dog. Actually, I apologize for saying that. I'm a dog owner myself, so we can trade in combat with the dog. Okay, sure. Gotta kill this annoying thing. Did they get a Solitude? And deal with the Atraxa, or what are they getting here? Maybe they get a Containment Freeze, but didn't they shut off their vials? What they get here is gonna be a big tell about like what is the last card in their hand. Oh, they're getting a land. Interesting. Okay, they had the Solitude already. They drew it. Okay, we have a lot of life now to set up. I think we just double Reliquary here. What is going on? They're hellbent. Even better. Even better. Wow, this thing's huge. What do they have? 3? Another recruiter? No. Okay. Sure. Maybe they get something to shut off the Reliquary. I mean, I don't think they play Revoker anymore, so I don't even know what they're going to get here. Regardless, I'm going to have full information. And if they don't get anything relevant, we just natural order them for lethal, right? Skyclave. Alright, they're dead. Right, that's like 1,000,000 man. I mean damage. What is the hold up? Alright, let's just quickly do the math. It's gonna be 6 plus 5. That's 17 plus 12. This is like way more than lethal. It's 33 damage. Alright. One more to go, potentially. Oof, pressure's on. We're gonna be clutch. We gotta use the restroom. last one. Let's see if we can, you know, come in clutch. Combo. All right, we've lost two. TS Necro. This is an asterisk here though. Necro. Stifle not DNT for those of you tuning in. Deck feels really good. Obviously our list is slanted to beat combo with the 4 main deck endurance, but I just think like even though it's not fully Force of Will, it's the closest thing we're gonna get to Queen Force of Will. And then the sideboard is just like your mix and match of like outside of Snuff Out, right? Everything else is like relevant against combo. And I think Snuff Out is just like too good against the Ancient Tomb matchups to not play. Let's get the first one for this season. Anybody have any questions for me? Actually, if you like my content, here's my socials. Feel free to check out my link tree. It has my Patreon on it if you want more content. Obviously, like if you're a poor college student or just struggling, we can talk if you're interested in this deck. Yeah, and I won't. I figured out things things for other people in the past regarding that if money's an issue. Oh, okay. I guess we're playing against Mitchell for the 5-0. What's a mole? Not like this. Sure. All right, we'll see how it goes. I think here we just slam, right? We moved to 5, but like. All right. I know Mitchell usually likes to play back to basics. It's a little bit. One of the things is it is a little bit harder for us to play. Uh, Man, I don't think he has anything, but like, I feel like we just have to attack, right? It's just, the damage matters in this kind of matchup. It's a lot of Cradles. I should have played out land first. Like, I guess there's an off chance he could, like, double daze me. Like, or counter spell. That could be a counter spell. Yeah. I haven't seen a counter spell in a minute. Here, I think I'm just gonna mortuary and hopefully just like bin, yeah. So equivalent drawing a card there, right? I think we bash with all. The question is like, is there any reason to play the Hierarch? I think probably not, actually. Awkward we've been the Arbor there. Could be a Supreme Verdict here. Nope. Interesting. I feel like the damage really matters, so I'm just gonna fetch for the Arbor. I think we bash first and see. Like, I don't think there's a reason to play the Green Sun here. Like, our opponent has to respond. I don't think they can just sit back forever. Now, maybe there's some flash creatures I'm not aware of. Like, maybe that's not a great attack, but we'll see. We can also like just like hide behind this Grist right now. Uh-oh. What is going on? Shark Typhoon? Oh, wow. Okay. Did not expect that. I think now we tutor. If they have Supreme, they Supreme, but like... Still, I tutored first to I tutored first so I would limit the chances of binning a Reliquary, but then we bin one anyways, which is funny. Looks like they didn't find swords. Okay. This is, like I said, when you're ahead on board, this thing is a nightmare to deal with because of the Talon gates. Yeah, the Typhoon definitely caught me off by surprise. I was not expecting that. Like I said, against this kind of list, surprisingly in the matchups we've had, not as much, but the card is just really good. We've had a lot of unfair matchups so far today. Hey Levi, that's pretty good. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, a white mare to deal with. So it's all the Halloween creatures, right? We have a nightmare, and then we have a zombie. But yeah, hey Levi, I hope you college has been doing has been treating you well. excuse me. We're playing for the 5-0 here. We've beaten like 3 combo decks so far and D&T. Excuse me. The sideboard is diversified to like make it hard, make it a white mare for our opponents to try to play around. Oh, okay. I've been good. My son turned 1, so that was pretty cool. He's been a little sick under the weather recently, but everything aside, just like going well. Obviously, I'm trying to like stream more, but it's this past month I would say it has been really difficult because he was sick. But yeah, huge for sure. 1 year is a pretty nice milestone. All right, this is not playable. Sure. I think. Like, do we just want this as an Allosaurus Shepherd? No, probably maybe not. Like sometimes he doesn't even have like it's like only good against force, right? Against this kind of matchup, I need to fetch basics. I'm like scared of getting like back to basics out of the game. And then if we draw the white, obviously we can just like play the Bayou, but I think everything even. Okay, I'm glad I binned the other one, but there's our modern day Allosaurus Shepherd, right? Looks like good old counter spell. Yeah, it is. I think the hard part is just like I'm not used to just not being in control and having autonomy over my own life. I mean, as bad as that sounds, right? But like that's the rough part, I think. The bauble is because it's combo hate too. That's the reasoning for it. Like I just want maximum number of combo hate, like because I don't think I'm losing a fair matchup under most circumstances. Do we care? I guess it takes away removal, so like top, right? Like we can go double spell, like or take their back to basics maybe. Uh-oh, red? Interesting. Oh my god, that's not a card that's easy for us to deal with. Prismatic ending. The thing is, it's gonna be hard for us to like attack this Narset. I think we have to take the Narset. They can pending the. They're probably pending the Reclaimer. I'd have to guess. Like, it's 1 card versus 2, right? In a grindy match right now. Actually, hold on. shield her down. I think we don't want the white. They have one unknown. Take ending, get reclaimer is what I was thinking. My thinking is just like I just think that Narset's gonna convert to 2 cards and like dig 8, and I don't think I'm winning that game. Like the way I'm playing the game out in my mind, Levi, is like if they hit removal, we lose anyways. But in general, the 2 cards, even if it's not removal, it can find something else, right? Okay, that's pretty good. The Bauble looking pretty sus right now. Okay. Yeah, for sure. No, I understand. Yeah, it's like they still get 1 card, and they get if they hit the removal, you just probably just lose. All right, so we know their hand. What's going on here? Oh, they're digging for another removal spell. If they find we can't we can't. Oh, thank goodness. So we're in this game now. That probably finds removal now. Or that, I guess. Ugh, okay. I don't think we're winning now, but this is a very grindy game. I'm trying to think if there was a decision I could have done differently. Attacking Narset seems sus there. What's the logic? Oh, you're talking about go for life points instead, Leon? Unless I'm missing something. That's fair. For what it's worth, this Bauble would be an artisan otherwise. I think you're right. Here, I think... Actually, I'm just like brain farting. That was a mistake. Like, oh, that is a killer. I probably just lost now. That was a mistake because I'm supposed to at least dig one deep on their turn, the bauble. Probably not. Probably not, Levi. I think when I thought these I hit land, I don't think I knew their hand, right? Like, I think they played the Prismatic Vista, so. Okay, now that's probably just game now. I don't think we're winning this. Let's concede. Like, what's the out here? Like, we're stuck and they have, like. I don't think there's an out. Oops. Now we're on the play. That should help. They have Mentor. Man. They drew Snap to ending, Ponder, and 3 Narsteds. Yeah, their draws are definitely better than ours. Is it? Is there any consideration for C's? Given that we saw Staticaster and we saw Mentor. I wonder if there's any. I'm gonna hate myself if I like draw the snuff out and there's like no targets. So I better not. I don't think so. Warmock. There's an argument that this should be like it shuts off force and cantrips. It's just we just never had the mana. I still like Bauble in theory here. Keep. We're gonna expect the first thing to die, so that's why I'm bringing that out. Huh. Okay. It is, but like I have to imagine Saturday as like a one of. Unless they really want to beat us. That's pretty good. Uh, no, I don't think so. I think so too, Levi. Because especially since of the draw. Presumably they have a removal spell here. They always have like a million. It might be Prismatic. Well, it's probably swords. We'll see. Sure. Shields are down for Gris to take over the game, maybe. They have a hard time dealing with Gris. I think we just slam here. If they want to tap out for Prismatic Ending, I think we're okay with that too. Oops. Sure. I think we just commit to all. If they have it, they have it. I don't think we can play around with stuff right now. But try to play around back to basics, yeah. Like, we're more okay with losing the Arbor because we can picture the Artisan. I don't think we can play around sweepers here. I think it's like, if they have it, they have it. What? Don't tell me they have Static Caster. Oh. It is close. Like, can we fight through the removal, I guess? Oh my goodness, not that. Ugh, that is not what I want to see. Okay. That changes the equation. Probably that. Okay. I think we have to take out Jace. This is a Hail Mary play, but I think we gotta take Jace out. Don't tell me they have a removal. Okay, Jace down. Alright, we are alive. If we don't take Jace down that turn, I think we lose the game. Like, it had to be that turn. There's an argument to be made. I'm supposed to like pitch the Arbor. Now that I think about it, but I was still thinking about like attacking Jace if need be. It's gonna cost us maybe a point of damage on the insect token. Yeah, like they would be on a one-turn clock now if if I pitch the Arbor instead. All right, there's the chump block. Okay. Are we gonna get there? That's good value. Oh, we got it. That was very close. That was the Talon Gates won that last game. Wow. Okay. Nice. I want to thank Levi for being my good luck charm. First Modern Horizon stream is a successful 5-0. We had to work hard for it too. Like we played almost one short of the maximum number of games. And obviously Mitchell's a very good player. For those who don't know, he won the trophy race, 2 to 3 times. I don't know what it was. Obviously Yoshiwata, known DNT player, and then multiple turn one matchups here. TES, the turn one Necro matchup, and then what do you mean committing my entire hand? I think you have to there, right? Like you have to play to win. Like you can't be scared that you're gonna look foolish in front of a sweeper. I think I just like weigh the percentages. Am I gonna win if I don't commit my hand? And the answer probably was no, right? And then I think a lot of people with this deck they actually undercommit. They lose games that they probably would have won if they just like didn't play scared. But yeah, I think the list actually feels really good. For those of you who are looking it up to pick this list up, I mean it can beat combo. Like we beat 3 combo decks to start out the league. TES, Necro Dominance, and then Stifle Knot, and then we beat DNT, and then Just Guide Control. Thanks, Levi. I appreciate that. I think the one consideration was maybe I'm supposed to pitch the Arbor instead of the third Hierarch, but my logic at the time was maybe I need a double attack and at least send Jace down. But I think in hindsight, I'm probably supposed to just pitch the Arbor, and then like if they want to swords my, because I can't kill the Jace anyways, and killing the Arbor actually gives me the option to attack with Reclaimer as well, depending on what they do. But I think that was the one thing. I think otherwise I was like really happy with my play there, and maybe that's the one place I changed my decision. The other thing is like game two, like really we're just like cold to that Staticaster. We have Gris obviously, but it's annoying they bring in creatures. I think I like the philosophy behind the way the deck is built and sideboarded is you just have all your cards live at all times, and that's actually why I didn't bring in the snuff outs, right? Like I just don't want to have the snuff out in hand, just like cannot continue to tempo my opponent. And the bauble is like in the worst case scenario, I just cycle it, right? And I think the one other misplay from game two was I like ran the Noble Hierarch out, but then the game was unwinnable, like Levi mentioned, anyways. So pretty happy with my play throughout this league. I made a few mistakes here and there early on, but like you can't expect perfect play. Yeah, I think so too. Like you play the percentage, right? Like sometimes they have it. Like obviously that back to basics, like we couldn't play around that game too because we just drew the values, right? It is what it is. Um, but yeah, I just hope like if they have like Staticaster or a mentor, you just like hope between the 2 Artisan and the 4 Green Suns, that's enough, right, to deal with it. And obviously you just have ways to just go over the top too. Natural Order for Tracks is obviously very broken. I think the Talon Gaze was very impressive, just like a pseudo removal for that Snapcaster to like to take Jace down, right? We don't win that game if we don't if he untaps with Jace there. Um, but yeah, I think the list felt very good. Obviously, the endurance is like it's a green force will, right? It doesn't protect us against everything, but like it's probably as close as we're gonna get. I think in terms of like the really unfair combo decks, it's probably like 75%. Like hits Doomsday, it hits like Gaia's Will, it hits Reanimator, which is the most popular combo deck. It doesn't hit Show and Tell, but that's not that popular, and it doesn't hit like Necropotence, but again, that's like an Oops All Spells kind of deck. Like I don't know if you're gonna run into that. Like we'll see how popular it is. If we can change it, but I think we're pretty well equipped to beat fair decks under most circumstances. And like I said, I think I subscribe to the Matsu Ole, and then my own philosophy, right? Just we're probably gonna win most fair matchups. We just need to make sure we win majority of the unfair matchups. Like we're not gonna win them all. I think if we play 5 combo decks, we're probably gonna lose at least one, maybe even 2, right? Like we were lucky to go 3 for 3 today. And then the Vexing Bauble is like a really big addition because it does double duty, right? Like I can board that in for the fair matchups. Otherwise, I'm like short cards. Like Delver, for instance, I'm boarding out 6 cards, the Natural Order package and the Oof. Snuff Owls are good, and then I board in the Baubles, right? Like it's just a flex card that comes in a lot of matchups. And then the Diversified hate to make it so they can just like Google my list and just play around like one card. Like, okay, you're gonna play around Mind Trap. Maybe I just have like the Chalice or the Layla Boy, and vice versa, right? All right. Anybody have any questions for me? That went like really, really well. Here again, here are my socials. Really, really happy to hear from Levi. I think were you saying you were doing summer school or working during the summer, Levi? I think maybe I didn't like hear that correctly or read that correctly. But yeah, fatherhood has been challenging, but it's been rewarding. So there's that, right? It's like obviously the tough times is when he's sick. That all bets are off. Like everything that you thought you knew about the baby, just out the window. But I'm glad to hear that you got your summer internship. For those who don't know, Levi here is a part of the engineering. He's a computer scientist, but part of the engineering clan. But yeah, I think all things aside, I'm glad I survived the first year of parenthood. Like I said, you just turned 1 month, so that's nice. And then 17 more years, I guess. Anybody have any questions about the list or me or whatever? I'm like I said, happy everybody was Star Fox, also long time supporter of my Patreon. Lomer Boy, I'm glad I was here. Nosman, thank you for hanging out. Warmock, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I know obviously the stream got restarted earlier, but yeah, I think the deck is. I don't think it's ban worthy. Obviously, like it has its bad matchups. I think I don't want to face anything that just tries to like win turn one, like with like pack and negation protection. But I think it's a strong deck. I think if I were to guess right now, I think it's like I'm biased, obviously. I think it's going into the new Modern Horizons meta game. It's at least a top 5 deck, right? Yeah, I don't think so either, Loma Boy. Like I think pre-Modern Horizons, I would have pegged this deck as like a top 3 deck, but obviously the deck is like very difficult to play. Uh, and I think with Modern Horizons 3, there's obviously some difficult matchups that may be coming out of it, like turn one decks, but we'll see. But yeah, I think the feel I got was like with the Wild Reliquary, we finally got the 5-0, right? All right, I don't want to ramble on too much longer. Let's see. I'll raid Andrea Mangucci because yeah, hey Mitchell, it is a new addition that is very good. And I mentioned to the chat like if I don't take down Jace there, I'd probably lose the game. So good games, Mitchell, and I'm gonna go ahead and raid Andrea now. Thank you everyone for hanging out.